Welcome back to Breakfast. Keeping our tamariki safe is a full-time job. Some of the risks are obvious, others, like the mental and emotional side of things, aren't always easy to notice. And getting our children to open up about what's worrying them can be difficult. To date, New Zealand has the highest youth suicide rate in the OECD countries. And Michelle Pete has created a tool that could help your tamariki, especially if they are struggling. She's a family mediator at Fairway Solution and joins us now via Zoom from Kirikiriroa, Hamilton, to tell us about her interactive journal. Morena, Michelle, welcome. I'm just going to hold this up because here is the journal right here, and I've been flicking through it this morning. And to be honest, I want it for myself. It's actually quite amazing. But tell us what inspired you to create this.
Morena in Dera. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. It's kind of exciting / scary to be here. I guess the reason for Make a Splash started with one of my own kids going through a really tough time. There was the mental health services supporting her, which were great, but I just felt like something else would be, helpful too. We made it through that. Our daughter survived, which I'm extremely thankful for. And through that process, I wanted to develop something that families could use to support their tamariki and or people working with them, just to sort of have a conversation base. So yeah, how to start some of those difficult conversations, because I know when we were going through it, I felt quite isolated. So it was a really tough time. So.
Yeah, and if you're going through that with your tamariki and you are trying to access mental health services, we know, people have had issues with wait times and things like that. So this is kind of a tool that you can use at home to help your tamariki address their mental health. Can you tell us how it works?
Well, there are various topics. There's about 50 topics or so, and they're just sort of like a baseline. There's nothing too in depth. You don't need to be a psychologist or a counsellor to use it. Just everyday topics. A couple of ways I think about using this is your young person has a copy and maybe you do too, or you've looked through it so you're aware of what they could be reading and working through in their own space. And you could come in and rather than talking like this, you've got something to talk beside you, sort of thing. Like sometimes I find that's quite helpful too. So your young person's having an opportunity to work through the topics, and then you as the support in whatever role you are, whether it be grandparent or counsellor or teacher or parent, you sort of know what they're working through, so you have that point of contact there too in conversation.
Yeah, I mean, some of these topics are really quite remarkable if you're a struggling youth or adolescent. I mean, a darkest moment, big changes in your life, relationships, the power of an apology. I love that page. Self-harm, addressing stigma, and even just a relationship checklist, which I think actually anybody could do no matter what your age. Yes or no, would this person make you 100% happy for your BFF or BF? Is this person happy to meet your friends' parents? Are they fun to hang out with in a group? Tools that teenagers can use to really assess perhaps the decisions they are making that impact them. So what has been the response so far to people that have purchased this book and used it?
Well, I've had some really good feedback. It was launched just last month, April the 20th, so that was pretty fun too. And I've had a really good response, had some great feedback. One woman was taking a copy on the weekend to her friend whose daughter had a suicide attempt that week, and this daughter is 9 years old. So yeah, it's amongst us. Another woman, she used it as a conversational tool for her 12-year-old son, and they were able to just have that space to. She was wanting to have a conversation but didn't quite know how to get some of them started. So they've been working through that together. I've got another young woman that her mum told me that her daughter won't let her look at it, and so she's bought one as well, so she knows what her daughter's working through. And I was talking to a counsellor. She said, yeah, I could see primary school boys and girls of any age really enjoying this journal.
Yeah, there are spaces to scribble and draw. There are spaces to reflect and write your own thoughts there. Tell us where you can purchase one from, and also you're supporting I Am Hope and Gumboot Friday, is that right?
Yeah, I was wondering where I wanted to give some of the money coming in to, and of course, like King and crew, the teams that are going out into the schools and supporting young people, and they also offer free counselling service, so people can find them on the website. You can look up Gumboot Friday or I Am Hope, and that will lead you to be able to access some counselling. In the book, there's also a list of different helps as well. You can purchase it directly from me. I'm self-publishing it on my website, michellepete.co.nz, and have a look on the top bar and you'll see Make a Splash up there, and that just link in there and that'll take you into more information about it.
Oh, Michelle, well done for your work, and thanks so much for joining us on Breakfast to talk about it as well. That is Michelle Pete, family mediator and author.
Thank you. Ka kite.
Now, if you or someone you know is affected by this story or just needs someone to talk to, please reach out to the helpful numbers that we have on our screen right now. It's Lifeline, Youthline and WhatsApp, free text and free call.